well, so just part of my normal morning routine, besides brushing my teeth, is just popping a few pills here real quick. Let me show you what I do. I just keep these things right here on, my sink top. So I'll take the Anabolic Reload in the morning, and then I take the Anabolic Reload typically about an hour or so before I go to bed, if I can remember. I usually can't remember. So what it means is I actually end up taking it as I'm brushing my teeth, right as I'm getting ready to go to bed at night. So anyway, those are the two supplements that I take in the morning and at night. And then of course, I'll show you later today when I get ready to go to the gym workout. I love our pre-workout. That's called Anabolic ATP. And then, not every day, but some days, especially when I don't feel like I'm eating very healthy, I'll take the Testo Greens. I'll drink that, I should say. Okay, this is how it begins on a typical day around here. That is some cereal, some Kashi cereal, milk. Got the coffee maker warming up in the background. I think you can see it, just over my right shoulder there. And my protein bar. So that's pretty much it as far as a typical breakfast is concerned. I probably go out to eat breakfast twice a week. And when I do that, of course, it's eggs and bacon and hash browns and a lot of coffee. And guys, I'm a news junkie. So, I'm gonna get my cereal here in a second. Go sit down on the couch and watch TV. I'm gonna have the news on real quiet, and I'm gonna be reading the news. Oh my gosh, I'm just terrible. Well, sitting in the parking lot of the grocery store right now, what you don't realize is that my refrigerator and pantry are absolutely, totally empty. Not only am I an incredibly lazy cook, hate to cook anything, I hate going to the grocery store. I don't know why. It's not that big of a deal. But I've always been this way. I always hate going to the grocery store. And then I go, fill up with stuff, take it home. I'm like, that was no big deal. That didn't hurt. So I don't get it. Are you guys just like me? I mean, do y'all hate going to the store as much as I do? It makes no sense. Anyway, I'm going to take you along as I kind of shop through the store today. I kind of get a habit, I start on one side of the grocery store and I just go down the aisles that I know that I need food in, and I buy almost the exact same stuff every time I go to the grocery store. Just makes it real straightforward and real easy. And then of course, I'll do some meal prep later today once I restock, and I'll show you what my typical meal prep looks like. So hope I don't bore you to death today. See you in a minute. Okay, this is the first stop I typically make in the grocery store, and that is the deli. So guys, the deli is your friend. See all this behind me? A lot of that stuff in there is really good and healthy for you. So I'm going to show you exactly what I buy when I typically come to the grocery store. You guys obviously don't have to do the exact same thing, but I'm going to also show you some things that you really kind of need to avoid in the deli. But see all this, the meat section over here? All that stuff is really lean protein, no carbs, very low in fat. You can just eat tons of that stuff. And then these are all their salads, and a lot of these salads are really good for you. Now, I avoid the ones that are pasta based because it's just got a lot of refined carbs. Just avoid the pasta. But there's lots of really good healthy stuff in there, including protein. So they got chicken salad and tuna salad, and a lot of times I'll buy big tubs of that too. So guys, I'll be here for about 10 minutes. I'll be loading up on a bunch of stuff. Okay guys, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get a large tub of that kale, salad. A lot of times I'll get their corn salad. And then look right here, see this empty thing? They got a great broccoli salad here. And I don't know why they're out, but it's really good for you. And then I'm going to kind of avoid, see there's some pasta stuff here, lots of pasta. Now, tuna salad, you can eat as much of that stuff as you want. That's fantastic for you. You got some chicken salad here, really good. See, more pasta, skip that. Potato salad, skip that. You can get the coleslaw. I don't think there's a whole lot of good healthy stuff in there, but that's not bad for you. See, more pasta based, and then boom, here we go. the Greek vegetable salad. I always load up on a big one of those. That stuff is great for you. And then on the back row, see right there, chicken salad, right? Skip the baked potato salad. No more. You could do some seafood if you want. Egg salad maybe. But, you know, guys, as you can see, a lot of the stuff in here is actually pretty good for you. Okay, guys, lots of good stuff here. You can do anything you want pretty much. Turkey, ham, roast beef, chicken, all really good for you here. What I'll do a lot of times is I will have them take a protein basically, and I will get them to slice it super thick. So when I do buy, you know, like I don't care, turkey or chicken or roast beef, instead of having them slice real thin like you would use in a sandwich, I have them slice it a 1/2 inch thick, real thick. All right, and I'll get about 1.5 pounds, okay? And then I'll take it home and I'll cube it. So I'll just kind of cut it up into small, kind of little bite-sized chunks, and then I'll throw that in my salad. Excuse me, I'll throw that in my rice that I'm cooking up in the skillet. Now I'm going to show you that later, but instead of using a meat today like that, I'm going to actually buy salmon. And I have really found that grilling the salmon and then putting it in the rice tastes fantastic. And also, I don't get enough fish in my daily diet. You know, I get plenty of chicken and other meats, but very little fish, and fish is fantastic for you. So when I do come here and I'm doing my meal prep, I probably buy the salmon 3 out of 4 times. So all these pre-made sandwiches here, I usually pick up 1 or 2 of those while I'm at the grocery store. Just keep them in the refrigerator. I'll have them for lunch or dinner, doesn't matter. But guys, sandwiches, okay, are typically really good for you, okay? Now I know the bread is in there, and so if you're on a really strict diet and you're really counting your calories, you know, the bread is not the greatest thing for you, because that's a highly processed carbohydrate. But if you're just trying to slowly, steadily lose some body fat over the course of months and months and months, having a couple of slices of bread, you know, i.e. a sandwich, is not bad for you. I mean, that's a great way to, you know, live a healthy lifestyle. And remember, I'm lazy, so I don't buy a loaf of bread. Okay, there's no bread in my house, but I will buy sandwiches. I love going to the Subway store, and when I do go to get a Subway, I get a big 12-inch long sub on whole wheat, and then I do double meat, double cheese. So it is packed with a ton of protein, and then I throw as many vegetables as I can in there. Lots of spinach and lots of onions and pepperoncinos and tomatoes. So guys, sandwiches are really a good way to go. Okay guys, and right next to those pre-made sandwiches, look at this. It says, you know, ready meals, ready to eat. Look, all this stuff, guys, is really good. Look at all that great protein in there, all right? And then this is, I guess, I don't know, what is this, chicken that's already been pulled off the bone, so you don't have to deal with it. So that's just, guys, just buy one of these tubs of chicken and take it home and then eat it with some veggies, and you're looking good. All right, here we are, just on the other side of the deal here. Lots of ready-to-eat meals. And then, guys, you know, as I'm kind of skimming over these, most of these look actually really good and healthy. You know, balanced, you know, not overly high in processed carbs. Stay away from that macaroni and cheese. But there's lots of chicken breast in here, and here's some sliced potatoes and carrots. I would avoid the meatballs and spaghetti. I just think the pasta is just too much processed carbs. But there's still plenty of good stuff here to choose from, guys. Especially if you're lazy, you don't have to cook. Okay, this is the other side. So it looks like a lot of these are obviously designed to be heated up. Guys, come on, man. You can't eat everything in here. Some of this stuff is just too high in carbs and too high in fat. But I'm going to guess 2/3 of the meals in here that are ready to cook are fantastic. They got fantastic macros. My gosh, shish kebabs down here. I mean, man, in this day and age, there is no excuse not to be eating healthy. All right, so I actually don't even go down about half the aisles in the grocery store because I know where I got to get, and basically I don't need to waste time just kind of looking around. So here we are. I love doing this. This is the base for my meal prep is rice, and I've found this really super simple thing here. I'll come down here. Let me find my favorite one. So they got all this different kinds of rice, and these are designed to be put in the microwave for 90 seconds, but I don't do it that way. I actually grill it in the skillet with olive oil on high, and basically I just cook my rice. I like it almost crunchy. That's where I put either my chopped up chicken or roast beef, or in this case today, the salmon. All right, here we go. So I'm going to avoid the center cut salmon just because it's a lot more expensive. So here, manager special, 30% off. So I typically get 3 of these fillets here, and golly, some of them are really big and thick, which I don't want. I want the thinner ones here. Here we go. Thinner and smaller because I'm going to fit all 3 of them in the skillet at once. So there we go. Simple as that. All right, so I'm on the frozen aisle here, and this is all desserts you see behind me. I mean, I didn't know they made this many different types of desserts. But anyway, tons and tons of ice creams and, obviously stuff that you need to avoid. But I come way down here to the end, okay? The very last door down there, I'm going to show you what I like to buy. Right here, guys. Sugar-free popsicles. All right? That's the trick. It's got to be sugar-free. Okay, I'm on a different frozen aisle right now. This is the frozen meals aisle. All right, remember, I'm really lazy. I hate to cook. So what I do is I actually buy some of these frozen meals in cases of emergency. And what is an emergency? Well, I've run out of my meal prep, okay? Or I've eaten my meal prep for 3 straight meals and I'm just tired of it. I need a change of pace. And I've already eaten the sandwiches that I bought, okay? So what do? I have found some frozen meals that I like that also have pretty good macros. Now, yes, they're high in sodium, but I don't have a salt problem. Okay, so if you don't have an issue with salt, you don't have to worry about it. It's not a big deal. Okay, so a lot of you guys are going to find frozen meals that you like better, or maybe are even healthier than the ones I found. But I probably spent an hour or so one day going through all the different types of frozen meals, and these are the ones that I think are pretty good for me, with quotes around that, because they're relatively high in protein, typically very low in refined sugar. They will have some modest or moderate amount of carbs, and kind of a moderate amount of fat, and that's kind of what you're looking for, right? All right, so this is what I've been doing here. I have started buying these Marie Collanders. Okay, now not every Marie Collander has got good macros. All right, so I don't just buy any old one. I buy the ones that I think that are high in protein and reasonably low in processed carbs. All right, so here we go. All right, we'll do that. I like these guys down here. Look at this. I mean, some of these guys, that's only got 240 calories in it, right? That's nothing. The sesame chicken bowl looks pretty good, except it's got a lot of pasta in there. Come over here, beef and broccoli. Look at that. All right, so you can look at the macros, bottom right-hand corner right there. All right, so it gives you some of the information you want. Try that. Same thing with the teriyaki chicken bowl here. All right. Ooh, let's do the meatloaf and gravy. All right. So anyway, guys, the point I'm getting to is you can kind of think outside the box a little bit. You know, most people just think if it's frozen, it's bad for you. Well, that's not really true, okay? A lot of the things that are frozen are bad for you, but you just gotta have to dig and read the label, guys. It's just not that hard. All right, looky here. We're kind of in the lunch meat aisle here, right? Everything is pre-packaged. Well, just because it's in a package doesn't mean it's bad for you, right? So I typically come right over here. All right, so you got chicken breast, turkey breast, ham, okay? And then you come down here, you can find some roast beef in here. So what I like to do is grab one of these guys. I'm just gonna grab a big old turkey breast. All right, so that's a fair amount of meat in there, and I'll use that just to munch on in between meals when I need a snack. All right, so guess what? Eat some milk, because I do have cereal. I eat cereal typically for breakfast, I'd say 5 or 6 days a week. And for a long time, I was buying almond milk. Once again, because I'm lazy and I hate shopping. So I was finding that my milk, my regular milk, would spoil if I left it in the refrigerator too long, but almond milk lasts forever. All right, well, I got lazy. And then guess what? I started reading the nutritional label. Almond milk only has 1 gram of protein per cup, whereas regular milk has got 8 grams. Yeah. And so basically, I need to get more protein. I have a hard time getting enough protein into my daily diet just because of my weight and the fact that I'm, trying to put on muscle all the time, or at least, minimize muscle loss, which means I need a lot of protein. So anyway, I buy 2% regular old milk nowadays, and I get 2% just to keep the fat down, okay? Plain old whole milk is great for you too, but it's just got a ton of fat in there, guys. Wow, so what am I doing over here in the soft drink aisle, guys? Am I a bad boy or what? Nope. Look at this. I fell in love with this several years ago. Fresca, 0 calories. Love the carbonation. I just crave carbonation. And guess what else? I use it as a base in one of my alcoholic drinks I make with vodka. I'll show you how to make that later, but I love my Fresca. All right, so you guys probably know by now I like carbonation, and I probably don't drink enough water throughout the day just because water taste is boring. All right, so this is the trick that I've recommended in some of my other YouTube videos, is I have found, this is the very top aisle right there, okay? That is just flavored, artificially flavored, sugar-free, carbonated water. It's the store brand, so it's really inexpensive, guys. I'm not going to pay a ton of money for water. I just refuse to buy bottled water unless it's got carbonation in it, okay? So that stuff is 99 cents for a big bottle up there, and I'll stock up, and I love this stuff. And because it tastes so good, I end up drinking plenty of water throughout the day. So that's my trick, guys. Find you something, all right, that you really like to drink that doesn't have a bunch of caffeine and no sugar, guys. That's the biggie. No sugar. Look how many different cereals there are to choose from. I mean, it's unbelievable. All right, so this is something I did more than a couple of years ago. I went through the labels on almost every cereal box until I found the ones that are the best for you. It's right here, Kashi. All right, they got fantastic macros, and guys, they actually taste pretty good also. I'm gonna go into this a little bit more in a minute. All right, now look where we are. That is all yogurt back there, or most of it's sugar back there. I had never used to eat yogurt back in the old days until I started doing research and looking for healthy stuff, that I needed to be able to, buy on a weekly basis. I was trying to expand my choices. Well, guess what? Greek yogurt is really good for you, but be sure and get the light Greek yogurt. And light just means basically they've taken out most of the sugars, okay? So it's got a lot of protein. It's very low in sugars, doesn't have hardly any fat at all. And I think the stuff I'm buying, it's got about 12 grams of protein for one of those little tiny plastic cups. So 12 grams of protein, I think it's only about 80 calories total. And also, there's tons of different flavors you can get. And guys, it tastes really sweet, even though it doesn't have a bunch of processed sugar in there, guys. So it is a great late night kind of dessert or snack, especially for you guys that have a sweet tooth. You've got to avoid the processed sugars at all costs. That is the number one worst thing for you guys. And I'm not just talking about calories. I'm talking about what it does to your blood sugar and how it kind of screws up your metabolism. You wouldn't believe how bad processed sugars are. So light Greek yogurt is fantastic tasting, a lot of protein, really low in processed sugars, and guys, it will help you with that late night sweet tooth. That and those sugar-free popsicles are my two tricks that I use. So tons of different brands to choose from, guys. All right, you do not have to get my brand. Okay, this is just the stuff I go after. This is Dannon Light and Fit Greek yogurt, and they got all these different flavors. Okay, really tastes great here. Matter of fact, look at this. All right, I just found this. I'm always kind of looking. See this stuff? Oikos. I don't know how to pronounce that, but it's got even more protein, zero added sugar. Anyway, I'm going to try some of this week just to see what it tastes like, because those macros look really good. All right, here we go. I just slid down the aisle a little bit. Now we're in the cheese section. Nice. Nothing special about this stuff except that it's relatively inexpensive. I just love to have my extra sharp cheddar cheese with some Triscuits or some wheat thins. I'll talk about those in a minute. All right, I'm on the aisle where I kind of break my own rules a little bit when it comes to eating healthy. So first off, those are rice cakes over my shoulder there, and those are pretty good. That's a pretty good quick snack. A lot of times I'll munch on some of those on the way to the gym to give me, you know, a little bit of a carb pick me up. I'll eat those while I'm drinking my pre-workout, the Anabolic ATP. I love that combination. Really kind of gets me amped up and ready to go to the gym. So I'm going to get one of those. I like the cheddar cheese flavor. But okay, now you're looking down here. That's the aisle with all the crackers and chips. Well, not potato chips, but I'm going to show you what I buy. Guys, if I was really dieting and trying to lose a lot of weight and get down to 6% body fat, I would avoid this aisle, okay? But I'm kind of at a break-even point here. I'm trying to lose maybe 5 or 6 pounds. I've just gotten a little heavy over the last few months, but I love Triscuits, and also to a lesser extent wheat thins. And I typically will have some of that stuff once a day with some cheese or something, or maybe I'll have Triscuits with like chicken salad or tuna salad. So guys, yes, it is a processed carbohydrate, so it's not great for you if you're really on a strict diet, but the macros are really not all that bad, and I don't think it's as highly processed as some of these other things like pasta or bread, and so I don't think it spikes your blood sugar so bad. Okay, getting near the end here. See, my almonds, I'm in the nut section. You can look down there, peanuts and almonds and cashews, all kinds of stuff. So guys, I typically get just almonds, all right? So there's lots of different things you guys might want to try. Problem is, nuts have got a lot of fat in them. So if you're going to buy them and eat them, just keep the size down, okay? Don't overdo it. You can't get like 3 cups, per serving. You just kind of got to grab a handful, and then that's it for the day. All right, guys, this is another really healthy snack right here. I'm in the beef jerky section. I mean, look how many different choices there are, guys. Most of this stuff is actually really good for you. It's almost all protein and no fat, no carbs. But every once in a while, you're going to find some stuff. I'm going to guess these beef sticks, anything that's big and squishy and soft, has probably got a ton of fat in it. So just be sure and look at the label on the back. Make sure it's almost all protein. This is a great way for you guys that are getting hungry in between meals or got late night munchies. Eat some of this because it's all protein, and protein really makes you feel satiated and full. Plus, it takes a lot of calories to digest protein. All right, this is the stuff I was just talking about that you need to avoid. Yeah, it might say beef jerky, all right, but it's real nice and squishy and soft, which means it's basically like sausage. It's got a ton of fat in there. Yeah, it's got protein, but avoid this stuff, guys. It just ain't worth it. You need the real true blue, you know, dried protein, right? All this stuff over there is good, but this stuff is bad. All right, guys, as much as I love potato chips and corn chips, I basically just avoid this aisle. Unless I'm having a party and having a bunch of guys over, maybe we're cooking burgers, I'll get a bag of chips. But pretty much everything on here is no bueno. All right, so in the vein of being lazy, I'm over in the fruit section here, and there's just tons of apples and oranges and pears, all kinds of stuff. But I'm too lazy for even that, so here I am. I'm gonna get one of these mixed fruit bowls. It's already cut, it's already washed. All I gotta do is pull off the plastic lid and eat it. This is a wonderfully easy thing, guys. Look at all this stuff to choose from, all right? I typically come over here and get one of these mixed deals here. We got a little, golly, what do we got? Strawberries, blueberries, pineapple, and some grapes in there. Love that stuff. All right, we're just about finished shopping here, and I'm in the aisle here, right here, where you got all the, like, the protein bars or power bars or whatever you want to call them. A lot of these actually have pretty good macros, all right? And so it's kind of up to, you know, you, what you want to do. As far as these are concerned, you know, some of them have got too much sugar, too many carbs in there. So once again, I have a hard time getting enough proteins in my daily diet. And so I typically pick one that has got pretty high in protein, so about 20 grams of protein. And yes, it's going to have some sugars in it, but it doesn't seem like it's just way too many or unnecessary amount, and it tastes fantastic. So guys, I've tried different stuff over the years. I'm not sure that one is necessarily the best, but what I'm eating now are the Gatorade protein bars. Let me show you real quick. Here they are at the very bottom, okay? So not only do I think their macros are pretty good, but they're huge. I mean, these are big bars that really fill you up. And they're not crazy expensive. Some of these bars are just, you know, ridiculous. $3, $3.50 a bar, and that's just ridiculous. So there's tons of things to choose from, guys. And like I said, I don't think, you know, that these Gatorade bars are necessarily the best. All right, so you can look through. I mean, Cliff bars I know are real popular. I don't think they have nearly as much protein in them as the Gatorade bars that I'm buying, but you know, experiment, guys, and it doesn't hurt. Just bring your reading glasses in here and pull the box out and look at the nutrition information on the back. Well, okay, here we are. I've just unloaded. I cannot believe this, but that was $170. This little thing of groceries, that's $170? It doesn't really seem like it. Man, wow, that hurts. But guys, this is going to get stocked, and let me show you why I needed to go to the grocery store so bad. You're going to laugh. Look what I had in there. 2 yogurts, a bunch of Fresca, some butter, some grated cheese, and of course, the bottom drawer there is loaded up with beer. But you know, not much left over here except some condiments, and there's my water that I love, my carbonated water so much, and some milk, and half for my coffee. And I have some bad Coke up at the top. Guys, I don't drink that stuff except for when friends are over and we're making an adult beverage. So, time to fill this up. All right, let's see here. Hopefully it looks a little more respectable now. Yeah. Now, it's not very full still, but, you know, it's just one person. It's just me. That food, by the way, look at my frozen dinners and my sugar-free popsicles in here. And then at the very bottom is some frozen fruit that I use to make smoothies with. And then, of course, lots of that bottled carbonated water over here. I love that stuff. And then just to the side of the refrigerator is where I keep most of the rest of my food. So, you know, you can see in the top right, we got some Triscuits, my protein bars, the bottom right, a bunch of cereal there, my cheddar cheese flavored rice cakes, and lots of extra carbonated water. Not much, guys. It doesn't take a lot. Okay, so this is not part of my normal day, but we're going to do a green screen shoot today for a funny commercial. So it takes a lot of setup. So I figured I would experiment, try this on time lapse so you can see what we go through to set up all this equipment just for a simple little funny ad. All right, so that's how it's done. Set up the green screen. We have two big box lights that are super bright. They light the green screen. And I got two of these taller LED lights that are real adjustable. You can change the temperature on them and the intensity. And these things are great. They're real small, they're easy to carry around. Those are used to light me. I'll be standing about right here. And then we'll set up the tripod and the camera with a teleprompter right over here. I'll try to get a little video of that in a few minutes when my cameraman shows up. Okay, so real quick, I just want to show you how this teleprompter stuff works. It's pretty neat. So I've loaded the script onto this tablet, and there is actually a teleprompter app that is really cool, and it allows you to adjust the size of the font and the speed that it scrolls, and you kind of set it up for your personal cadence, okay? And so you hit this play button. See what's going on there? So it's scrolling, but the problem is it's in reverse. It's mirrored. I can't read that, so this is what you do. You put it right here in the teleprompter. See if I can get that working for you here. And there you go. That's what I read. And then back here, a camera sits back here, and the camera shoots through this mirror. You can't see the camera. All you can do is see that text. And of course, the camera doesn't pick up any of that text. All it can see is me. It's a pretty ingenious setup. And then of course, this whole little device right here, it mounts on a tripod. And you mount this camera back here, and the lens gets shoved into this little, I don't know what is this thing called here, some kind of a black cloth. Anyway, so the lens goes in here and the camera gets bolted down, and then boom, I just read the script. Simple as that. All right, so here we are about ready to shoot. Let me give you a quick little panorama of what this really looks like from my perspective. So here, see that crazy guy back there behind the camera? And then see that guy right there guarding everything. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to read off this teleprompter, a quick little fun script. And then we're going to pop a lot of balloons. That's just part of this ad. All right, so guys, this is as much cooking as you'll probably ever see me do right here. This is meal prep, and I only do this once a week at the most. So this is the salmon that I bought earlier, and this is the ready rice Uncle Ben's stuff here that I'm going to show you how I do it. I don't put it in the microwave like it recommends for 90 seconds. I actually put it in the skillet. So I'm not a very good cook, guys, so it's got to be super easy for me to do. All right, so don't laugh at me if I'm doing this all wrong. This is just how I do it. So I put a little olive oil in the skillet. I put it on about medium high. Then I just plop these salmon fillets. Boom. I just plop them in there. It's hard to get 3 of them in there, but if I don't do 3, then I don't feel like it has enough protein for the amount of rice that I'm using. So I've kind of determined that 3 bags of rice is a good number for some reason. 2 just doesn't make enough to go through all this trouble for meal prep, and then 4 is just, it's just too much. And to make sure you have protein in every bite, if you do 4 bags of rice, then you have to do tons and tons and tons of protein, you know, so it's just too much. So I've decided that 3 is kind of like the perfect number. And it'll make me probably 6 medium-sized servings, you know, so that's kind of how I've been doing it for several years now. And so today I'm using salmon, and of course I'll chop it up in little bites and pieces before I put it into the rice. But you guys, a lot of times I'll buy, you know, like chicken or turkey or roast beef at the deli, and I kind of mentioned that earlier in a different video, and I'll have them slice it real thick, and I'll just put it on the cutting board and I'll just chop it up into little cubes. And then after I cook the rice, I'll dump that meat into the rice to kind of stir it all up. So today I'm just using salmon instead of turkey or chicken or roast beef. Okay, so while I'm grilling the salmon, let me show you a couple of the other things that I use. This stuff is great. I use this in the rice. Any kind of spice you want, guys, but I've been using this for years and love it. And then, you know, this is the rice I was talking about, and, you know, it says if you want to cook it, stick it in the microwave for 90 seconds, but screw that. I put it in the skillet and fry it in some olive oil, which really tastes great. Oh guys, can you see that? Looking pretty good. So I really don't know what I'm doing. I'm cooking it on kind of medium high. I don't know. I'll probably cook it for 4 minutes on that first side. I'll probably cook it for 3 or 4 minutes on the second side, and then boom, that comes out. Then in goes the rice. All right, here we go. Time to get the fish out and put the rice in. All right, so that's where everything's going to live eventually. Now for the rice, I'm going to add some more olive oil here. And, you know, that's 3 bags of rice, so I put a fair amount of olive oil in there. And then once I get it in here, I actually turn it up really high. I mean, I cook this rice on high heat and just keep stirring away. And I'll usually cook it for about 5 minutes on high heat. I like it nice and cooked and yummy. There we go. It's on high. Y'all bored yet? Okay, now the exciting part. I've already chopped up all my salmon in here, and I just chopped it up using my spatula. I don't even use a knife or anything. And Pour it in here. We'll stir this up. So all I did was cook the rice for about 5 minutes on high heat. I mean high. All the way turned up. So I guess 8 minutes total on the salmon, 4 minutes on each side, and then 5 minutes for the rice, maybe another minute just kind of tossing it around here, guys. I mean, I think the rice is already cooked in those packets, and when you put it in the microwave per the instructions, I think you're just heating it up. So anyway, I'm done. That's it. That's all for my cooking. Can you see that? You can't smell it, but trust me, guys, it's actually phenomenal. Oops. Turn that off. Turn off my vents. That's the other thing is, that's the only thing I have to clean up, one skillet, because I hate cleaning dishes. All right, guys, so I'm going to chop my head off a little bit here while I'm talking to you, because I want to focus on, basically what's going into a typical meal for me. So these are the 3 salads I bought earlier today at the grocery store. That's a kale salad. Well, guess what? I don't like kale, but this stuff is phenomenal. I mean, they got all kinds of other goodies in there. I mean, they got raisins, and it looks like some carrots and maybe some onions, and I don't know what else, but it's phenomenal. The dressing is fantastic. So guys, even if you don't like kale, try the salad, the kale salad that somebody else made for you. I don't make these salads, guys. All right, this is Greek salad right here. I bought it at the store. So it's got cucumbers and baby tomatoes and feta cheese and some onions and some olives in here. Love that stuff. Normally, I really wouldn't like it very much. Cucumbers don't taste good. But when you mix all this stuff together and let somebody else do it for you, it's pretty darn good. And then this is a corn salad. And I don't know what kind of dressing they have in there, but it's got all kinds of good, yummy stuff in there. So this is how you get your carbs, all right? This is all real fibrous, really super healthy stuff, guys. And once again, as you noticed, I didn't cook anything. I didn't make the salads. Well, I guess I did. I cooked the rice and salmon, but that's it. And I'm gonna get 6 meals out of this salmon and rice, okay? So this is a great way to eat healthy, guys. Man, I'm just digging this. It really, really does taste good. That's it. See you in a minute. Okay, so I waited a little too late today. It's almost 3 o'clock, but I'm going to take my pre-workout. So guys, if y'all have never tried a pre-workout, just buy 1 bottle, give it a shot. I don't even use the scoop that comes with this thing. I just use a teaspoon. It's because I think, whoo, I inhaled some of the dust. I think it gives you a little bit more when you use a teaspoon. And then this is what I like to do. Plain water, of course, is just fine. This stuff is just, the flavoring on this is fantastic. I feel Blue Raz is the name of it. It just tastes great, but I crave carbonation. You've probably heard me say that before. So this is just carbonated, sugar-free water from the grocery store. And I'm feeling a little sluggish right now, so I do this every time. Even if I'm not feeling sluggish, I like taking a pre-workout. So you see how much that foams up like that? It's just fantastic. I love this stuff. So I'm actually just going to drink this in the car on the way to the gym. And I'm going to take this little camera stand here. It's kind of neat. I'm going to use this to take some video of my workout. I'm not going to videotape the whole thing, just give you an idea of where I go to work out. And I'll see you guys in a little while. Okay, here we go. Gold's Gym, nothing terribly exciting here. It's 3:30, so yeah, it's pretty slow around here right now. It's not all that crowded, which is kind of nice. I like having people here. I kind of feed off the energy, but I hate it when it gets real crowded. And the nice thing is this particular Gold's Gym doesn't get so crowded even during rush hour, which is typically, starts around 5 or 6 o'clock. It doesn't get so crowded that you can't get on a machine. I'm a member of another gym here in Dallas, and it's packed all day long. That's just ridiculous. So I don't even bother going anymore. I need to cancel my membership. So anyway, here we go, guys. It's shoulder day. Okay, guys, warming up on shoulders. So I take my own advice. I warm up real slow. I pick a real light weight. I'm going to be doing lateral raises seated on a bench here. But man, I just kind of loosen up here, and I just do a little this. Just no big deal, real light, much lighter than I'm actually going to use. Okay, and then I'll sit up. This, of course, is how I'm going to really do everything. This is my real lateral raises here. We're all seated. And then I'm just going to get the whole shoulder joint warmed up. And then I bend over and do rear. Okay. You can even do some rows, just anything to kind of get that joint warmed up, all the ligaments, all the tendons. And of course, I'm doing lots of this stuff too here, guys. Okay guys, don't forget your rear delts. Most people just totally ignore that. So the back part of your shoulder muscle is really kind of hard to target. So you can do face pulls with the rope, but when you're doing it, you need to try to get your elbows up as high as possible when you're doing face pulls. This is the pec deck machine, and you can set it up to do rear delt flies. And then of course you can do dumbbells and bend over and do rear delt flies. So anyway, this is a fun machine. I enjoy doing this. that was really burning. And hopefully you were watching the tempo. I was trying to really kind of control the weight all the way up and all the way down. No jerky movements and that kind of stuff. And then really feel it squeeze. Now guys, when you do a machine like this and you're trying to target your shoulders or the rear part of your shoulders, put the seat, put that seat down real low, because you want your hands to be up here about shoulder height, or maybe even slightly higher than shoulder height. So if your seat is too high, then your hands are going to be way down here, and when you're doing the rear flies, you'll be engaging a lot of back muscle and not so much rear shoulder muscle. So that's the kind of the trick on this machine. Okay guys, that's a wrap. I did 4 different exercises. I don't think I filmed one of them. I did front raises on the cable machine with a rope. I don't think I filmed that one, but so I did 4 different exercises and I did at least 3 sets on each one. So I probably, that's of course 12 sets. I really did probably a little more than that. Plus I started off with about probably 3 or 4 real light warm-up sets before I did my very first exercise. So that's a typical shoulder day for me. Now I'm gonna go home, get on the computer and answer y'all's questions on Facebook. Okay guys, so there you go, a typical day in my life. I didn't film some of the things that I'm gonna describe real quick here just because I don't wanna bore you guys. I'm afraid this video is already gonna be boring enough, but basically I started off the day taking some supplements that I really like and recommend to you guys. And then I went to the refrigerator. Of course, I already knew this. Totally out of food, out of cereal, out of everything. I mean, empty. So what I like to do once or twice a week is go out to breakfast. I don't think I filmed that. So I go to this restaurant, this breakfast place in the morning. It's right next to my grocery store. You know, I eat breakfast, eggs, bacon, hash browns, typical stuff, lots of coffee, read the news. You did see my grocery store. I shot a lot of videos at the grocery store on stuff that, I typically buy, week in and week out. And then I think I actually showed you making my meal prep, a very typical meal prep that'll last me for 5 or 6 days. Going to the gym, loving my pre-workout before I head out to the gym. I think I showed a little bit of the workout. It was a shoulder day workout. Oh, and then what I tried to do also is show you what I do for Live Anabolic. So we showed a time lapse. I put a time lapse together of me doing a green screen. All right, so those green screens are always like an ad. All right, so we're doing some funny stuff and setting up the green screen in my house with all the lights, and some of it's scripted. So I have a teleprompter I'm reading off of. I have wireless microphones that we use. And then I also showed you a time lapse of me shooting just a typical YouTube video. So I've shot hundreds of YouTube videos, and this is just kind of how it rolls. I will have a professional cameraman that comes over. I get mic'd up. We bring some lights in to my den so it looks a little better. It's easier to see when you guys are watching this on YouTube. And I showed you in time lapse, everything we do. And my cameraman followed me around, me actually doing the workouts. I don't actually cut and catch my breath and then start shooting again. I actually have to go through the entire workout for you guys. And then that's about it. I don't think I showed you any dinner or anything. It's really boring around here in the evening. I start watching the news and you don't want me to get going on that. So anyway, that is my life. Hope you guys enjoyed and didn't fall asleep.